everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, good morning, hello, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time it is when you're watching this. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, he's going to be the long-winded one today. Hey, everybody. Sam Healey. What's up, y'all?
We'll take 6 minutes to introduce each game.
All right, well, welcome to the first top 10 list of 2017. And this is one I don't think we've done our Gen Con anticipated things in Essen.
Yeah.
But we haven't done like of the year before. But I figured we would. Well, a lot of people asked for it. So these are our top 10 anticipated titles of 2017. Realize, of course, that publishers are pretty bad about announcing games.
What?
So half the games that we will probably like in 2017 will not be on this list.
Maybe.
Because we haven't heard about them yet.
Sure.
Some of the games on this list might not come out till 2018.
What?
Or 19.
Well,
Or 20.
no, I don't think it would be that bad.
I need all these games.
And we're basically just doing complete speculation on everything at this point.
Absolutely. We know very little about most of these titles.
All right. Are we ready? Let's do it.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is a game from AEG. It's called Cutthroat Kingdoms. Now, Cutthroat Kingdoms caught my eye because of Cutthroat Caverns. That's the only reason it caught my eye.
I bet they're not the same.
No, I don't think they are at all, actually. But it seems intriguing, and AEG usually does put out good products. I don't always like what they put out, but this looks like it has a high production value, and it looks like the backstabbing, and it talks about military movements and actions and this type of stuff. So seems to be a lot of intrigue, a lot of deception, a lot of political, rejiggering and all this other kind of stuff. So it looks interesting, but it just squeaked in. There was another one that I wanted to include, but this one just looked a little bit better. That's why it
What's
won
the one that
spot.
got cut?
One called Star Call. It's an interesting little game where it seems like it's going to be interesting, but I don't know anything about the publisher. This is like one of their first titles, so that was another reason why it kind of slipped off, because I'm always kind of anxious about brand new designers and brand new companies. But anyway, my number 10 is Cutthroat Kingdoms by AEG.
My number 10 is from Daily Magic Games, and that is Quests of Valeria. And this is just based on the strength of the company. I think that they're basically Clever Mojo Games reborn. It's two companies this year that are being reborn. Anyway, they're being reborn. I like the Valeria artwork. I do think it's problematic to keep calling all your games the same name when they're different.
With a different little twist on it.
Well, no, they're not like the same though. They're different games.
Yeah.
Like there was Valeria, then there's Villages of Valeria, now there's this Quest. So that I'm not. But
Well, it's the Tiny Epic syndrome, right? I mean, that seems to be working out for them. So
TES.
TES. We're going to start using that. All right, anyway, so Quests of Valeria. There was a lot of questing games on my list and ones that even didn't make the list. So, all right.
there are a lot of Quest-style games, which I basically just looked right over. But games that sound all like epic, and that's the funny thing with me is my list is going to sound very epic for the most part, because I like the sounds of epic games. I might not necessarily, once I play the game, if it's too epic, I might not like it. But my number 10 is an epic sounding game, and a game that I think will ultimately feel epic. This is Rising Sun, coming out from Mr. Eric Lang, designer. And this is something that I've played a bit of a demo of this one. I played with Sam. And it's one I'm looking forward to seeing the final thing. I think it's a game that, while I enjoyed the miniatures and the final artwork, and any final tweak that's done to it elevates that style of game for me. I'm very visual when it comes to games. So it's going to go to a whole different level for me once the thing is finished. And so Rising Sun, set in feudal Japan, about warring clans, etc., is one that I'm looking forward to very much. And it's got, on top of that, something of a little bit of a supernatural twist on top of that as well, right? So we'll see. Rising Sun is my number.
It's like Japanese folklore almost.
Right.
Partially.
It should be very cool. So that's my number 10.
Wonder if it's on Sam's list.
Doubt it.
Number 9.
My number 9, if you listen to my audio show, which is coming out next Tuesday, this was not on that list, but Eric said it and reminded me of it, so I stuck it on my list.
Okay.
This one is from Space Cowboy / Asmodee, and that is Unlock. This is very similar to...
Unlock?
Yes.
Okay, I know.
Oh, this is very similar to Time Stories, right? But it's an escape the room thing, right?
Oh, you mentioned this, yes.
Right, so I'm pretty pumped about this. Each set's going to come with 3 60-card decks. And the first one was like, I forget the first one, but there's like something squeak and sausage. Sausage, look like there's like a cook looking for a sausage.
Sounds like they're starting off on the right foot.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like it has that same cool artwork that the Time Story stuff does. It looks like it's that same thing where you plug it in. Apparently, there's a set of cards, you have some starting cards, and then you got to figure out, there's like numbers, and if you add the numbers together, then that tells you what card to go to next type thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's going to work exactly, but Space Cowboys has a pretty good rep. And I like the whole escape room type thing.
This is a good combination. On paper, Time Stories meets the escape room phenomenon. That's a good combo.
I'm not saying it's Time Stories. I'm saying it's company who makes them. But yeah,
the feel, the vibe, maybe. You know.
I'm hoping so.
This is not one that was on my radar at all, but you did mention it some time ago, and I was very excited about it. Yeah. All right, my number 9 is a little game that I actually thought was going to come out earlier, and again, this might keep on happening, right? It might keep on slipping, but. My number 9 is a game called Rising 5 Runes of Asteros. And this is a cooperative deduction app-driven game. All of which I'm excited about. Very gorgeous artwork. I think it's Vincent Dutrait artwork. From a designer that has had a couple of interesting games. But I would still put in the largely unproven camp. Which is why I'm not more excited about this. Because honestly... From the look of the game and the concept of the game, this would be very high on my list. It's a stunner, you know, and I'm really hoping it adds something new to the cooperative camp, which is I'm ready for. You know, the latest new things that were added was legacy concepts and time story concepts. That was sort of the latest thing when it comes to cooperative games. I'm hoping app-driven stuff is going to be coming in now, showing up now. So we'll see if this is one that does that. So my number 9, Rising 5 Runes of Asteros.
That's a mouthful of a name.
It really is.
That barely missed my list. I definitely thought about including it because I was hyped about it for Essen.
Yeah, we were excited about it for Essen. We saw it there.
There's a whole lot of other ones.
Of it.
Oh, is this that new company?
Yes.
That Vincent Dutrait is part of?
Yes.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, I forgot about they have like 3 games. I was interested in all 3 of them.
As you can see, there were a lot of things that I looked at yesterday. That was one of them, but didn't quite make the chop.
There's a lot of games that missed my list.
Yeah, mine too. A lot of expansions too.
All right,
Might have a top 5 coming up for that. My number 9 is from WizKids. And it is called Assault of the Giants.
Oh!
By name alone.
That sounds like top 10 cool sounding game.
Yes, and then I was looking through the description, and the miniatures are going to be 4.5 to 5 inches tall.
Oh.
4.5 to 5 inches tall.
So
you know they're essentially going to be using their HeroClix factory to be making these.
That is absolutely fine and dandy with me. I just thought that the concept is a really cool thing. Each player is going to be taking on the role of one of those giants, and it's basically an area control game. You're going to be destroying villages and fighting each other. And
my only thing is, if everybody's a giant, isn't nobody a giant? If everybody's a giant?
No, everybody's a giant.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Were those kids with?
I assume the villagers are still people.
Yeah, it's probably true.
They are.
This is coming out in 2 versions. There's a regular version and there's a deluxe version with the painted.
Right.
So
with painted miniatures and everything. Really this one caught my eye and just did not let go of it.
And Andrew Parks is the designer, which is
Parks
a big.
is the designer. Is a big thing.
He does some good stuff.
It's got the D&D license behind it. Really looking forward to this one. It's called Assault of the Giants. My number 9 from WizKids.
Number 8.
My number 8 is a game that is gonna finally let me play with that figure of mine. And, my number 8 is Rum and Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Second tied. This is again one that I was aware of. I got to play a little bit of this, and I really enjoyed it. I trying to remember if I played, I think just once, the original Rum and Bones, but having played Second Tide, I really enjoyed how streamlined the game felt, how quickly the turns went, the thematic involvement of the whole thing really hooked me. I enjoyed my play of this very much, and so I'm looking forward to it finally coming out. I think they went through a Kickstarter for this already, right? And they're just, now it's just waiting to be shipped. So
That's the second Coleman You're Not game on your list.
some companies are better at letting you know that their games are coming out, people. Get on that.
Yep,
It's unfortunate, but that's just the truth of it.
9 different companies. Only one company shows up twice on my list.
Oh, I have like 3 companies. Unfortunately, yeah. But yeah, Rum and Bones, I'm very excited for it. I like the theme, this concept of beasties from the depths fighting with each other. It's a very cool theme for me. I very much enjoy it. And so Rum and Bones Second Tide is my number 8 pick.
Now this one was on my short list. That one was on my short list, but I stayed away from games that I knew I was going to enjoy, that I had played multiple times. And
Oh, okay. I went for that.
I'm not really anticipating it because I know it's going to be good.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing.
I may have stuck a couple on there.
If I knew that, if I had already played a demo and I liked it, I went for it. Actually, I did the opposite.
Demo is one thing, but I've played Rum and Bones multiple times.
No, I have.
Okay.
I have not.
And so I know I like the game already, and the redone parts make it even better. So I'm not anticipating. I know it's going to be good, so I didn't include it on my list. But
actually,
it's worthy of spotlight. Yeah.
Of my 10, I've played a demo of some sort of 5 of them.
Really? Only
Yeah.
5. Okay. I might be actually less than that.
All right, what do you got?
Okay, my number 8 is a game that I really know nothing about. I've played the 2 games that are kind of squished together by Pretzel Games, and it's called Flick 'em Up, Dead of Winter.
Wait, you made fun of this when I first said it. No, you made fun
He
of it.
did.
Why would I make fun of Dead of Flick?
Exactly. See? So anyway,
It's Flick of Winter.
it
Flick
looks
of Winter.
It looks incredible.
Dead 'em
I mean,
up.
it's got the Flick 'em Up look to it, but it is a Dead of Winter style game. Or rather, it's the other way around. It's a Flick 'em Up style game with a Dead of Winter look to it.
Yeah, it's definitely Flick
I don't
'em
know.
Up. With,
It looks really cool, and this might be the smashing together of 2 things that make me like Flick 'em Up a little bit better. I don't mind Flick 'em Up. I got meat hooks, and meat hooks are not good for dexterity games like this. So, and usually when I flick something, it goes up and off and out. And anyway, so I'm not really good at Flick 'em Up, but Dead of Winter on top of Flick 'em Up, now my interest is going bing. So that's my number 8. Flick 'em Up, Dead of Winter.
my number 8, I'm breaking Sam's rule about expansions. This is the only expansion on my list, because I could have done more too, but this one's just too exciting for me not to put on my list, and that's more my time story stuff. Time stories, anything that comes out, I'll drop everything.
Well, there's 2.
There's 2 of them, yeah.
That we know, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Endurance, the in the ice or whatever, and then the other one is the Spanish Inquisition kind of setting or something
Right.
like that.
Technically, there's supposed to be 3 coming out this year. We'll see. But it could be called Time Stories, This Sucks. And I would probably be excited
About
playing
vampires, probably. I'm there.
That's all.
it. Or vacuum cleaner.
That's called drinking the Kool-Aid right there.
Come on, you like that Kool-Aid too.
I do, but not that much.
Oh, I like
Time stories.
I
Gotta
love
go
it.
back in time.
If I got a Time Stories thing, you'd be just as pumped as me. I know.
Of course. No, I love it.
The last
I'm
one was not
cynical.
as the last one was not as good as the first 3, but it has not diminished my enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's a good system. Definitely a good system.
So anyway, Time Stories expansions.
Number 7.
My number 7 is an expansion. It's the only one on the list, but it is something that when it came out, I was not expecting this game would ever really be expanded at all. And yet, it's coming. Jamaica the Crew is an expansion to Jamaica that it seems to add, from what we know so far, characters to Jamaica and some sort of other subsystem of how you utilize these people, how you have them work for you. I don't know. There's not a ton of information out there.
Well, they're supposed to be added to your holds.
And they take up a hold, or you can no longer put anything there, but you're carrying someone.
But you're carrying someone, and they'll give you extra gold at the end of the game. And each of them will have, I think, different levels of gold that they'll award to you at the end of the game. But the thing is, and I think this is where the crux of the expansion is going to happen, is that they're taking up an entire hold in your ship.
Yeah.
So it's going to make it harder for you to get around the island.
Yeah. I'm psyched, man. It looks great. More Jamaica. I'm hoping it's going to bring this game back to the table for me. It's a darling, and I just haven't played it in a while. So expansions are very good at reinvigorating games for me, and I'm hoping this one will do that very thing. Yeah. So my number 7, Jamaica, The Crew, looks great.
This is actually one of the games that I didn't think needed an expansion at all.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think we were sitting around hoping for it, but you're not complaining.
Yeah, no, not at all.
All right, my number 7 is thanks to Sam, actually. Ooh. I wasn't a big fan of Zombicide, and then Zombicide Black Plague was much better. I don't know what it was, the boards, everything. Mm-hmm. So when I heard that they're using that same system in an RPG, Massive Darkness, very pumped about that.
It's a board game.
It is.
Right.
An RPG.
Well, I'm sorry, as a fantasy setting, I should have said, sorry. Like a dungeon crawl. So Massive Darkness, it was kickstarted last year, I think. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of zombies that much, right? Zombies like Black Plague, I'd like, despite there being zombies in it.
Right.
So when you take the zombies out, I'm really pumped. I think it's a cool system. I like the boards and how just everything worked. So that I pretty much ignored the rest of it because I want to be surprised as I go through it. Mm-hmm. But Massive Darkness, the first of several Kumanir Not games on my list.
All right, my number 7 is one that we talked about for our Essen anticipation list, and it's being put out by Modifius, and it is Kung Fu Panda, the board game.
Oh, that's coming out this year. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. You already mocked this pick once. Both of us had it on our list. And
right,
so,
back off.
Taking the Furious 5 and Poe and all of those are going to be miniatures.
It's pronounced poo.
No, it is not.
Do you not like the movie?
No, movie's fine. I've only seen the first one, though.
They're all good. All 3.
It's fine.
They're
they're good. Not fine, they're good.
That's weird to hear that psyched about this. He goes from this game is about Vikings killing everything, and then a game about Kung Fu Panda.
Right, it's a great IP, man.
Whatever.
It's a great IP, so I'm really looking forward to it. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is a cooperative nature type of game where you're all working against.
You don't get to play now.
Oh, I can't remember the name of the bad guy now.
Poopy.
Okay, well, it was a leopard in the first one.
The big leopard, the leopard. Can't remember his name. Anyway, that's what you're fighting against. It's a Furious 5 with Poe against something
Shang or
Lang.
Lang.
Yeah, something. I can't remember. But it's the leopard from the first movie. And anyway, I'm really psyched about it. I think it's one that, first of all, my 5-year-old's going to enjoy. He's 6 now. What am I doing? Anyway, my 6-year-old, he's going to enjoy it too, I think, because he loves Kung Fu Panda. So I'm just really looking forward to it because I love Kung Fu Panda. So that's my number 7. Kung Fu Panda, the board game by Modifius.
Number 6.
My number 6 is my second Kumanir Not game. This one, I got to play this last year. I'm very pumped about it. It's coming out this year because of the anniversary, and that's the Godfather board game. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed that one. Eric Lang took this area control, and Eric Langed it. I don't know how to say it, but it was very
blood raged it up.
Well, it's kind of like what he did. He took Midgard and made it, cool and into Blood Rage, and so now he's taking a typical area control game and it's the Godfather. The Godfather theme is present. You're not like the Godfather. You're just one of the mafia gangs, running New York. Mm-hmm. It probably could have been any theme, honestly. But any generic gangster theme. But it works really well. And my hope is that people might play this who'd like the Godfather, right? And then they'll be like, "Wow, this is a really good game."
Right.
But it's mean, and I'm cool with that. You're controlling different areas. And so you can try to control multiple areas, or just really put a firm stake in one area. I like that kind of thing a lot.
I haven't tried this one yet. I've only tried the other Godfather game that I think was put out by IDW.
Yeah, but that was a much lighter game.
It's very, yeah.
I don't know if you would like this one because, I think you'd like it. I don't know if you'd like it.
I played it.
Oh, you played it? Oh, never mind then. All right, so Godfather from Cool Mini.
My turn? All right, number 6. This game is going to be put out by Upper Deck, and it is put out by two guys that I know very well. Well, one I know less well, but I know him well enough. Richard Lanius, and another guy, friend of mine, Pete Shirey, has designed this game. Shark Island, which, if you know Pete, you're like, oh, he made a shark game. Well, that makes sense, But
he's an unhealthy obsession with sharks.
Yeah, very.
Chandler Bing obsession.
But it's funny, and it looks very interesting, where one player is taking on the role of a shark, and he's trying to hide from the hunters while still cause terror to this place called Shark Island. And then there's a point at which it becomes a one versus all fight, where the hunters are fighting against the shark. I haven't demoed this, I haven't played it. I've only heard about it, and I've seen the artwork for it, and I'm really pumped. I want to give it a try. So that's my number 6, Shark Island, coming out from Upper Deck.
That one's gonna need to win me over. It sounds like it could be cool, but it also sounds like it could be a huge.
It could.
You wouldn't move to a place called Shark Island? What are you talking about?
They have Sharknadoes there. No. All right, what do you got?
All right, my number 6 is a game from Days of Wonder, and Mr. Bruno Catala, and this is a game called Yamatai, which is their next big release. I think it's the next big release from Days of Wonder. It is a heavier Euro game style akin to, say, Five Tribes from the same two entities there. And this one has an Asian theme, and it is... I played it. This is one of the 5 that I've played, but it was so long ago. I think it's changed considerably by now, so I can't really say I've played. But I am looking forward to seeing where the game has gone. It got a theme change. It probably got lots of mechanisms changed, reconfigured, whatever. And so I'm excited for it. We saw a big poster of this at BGG, and it was stunning. I mean, the artwork in this thing is beautiful. But then it's Days of Wonder, so what can you expect? And so I'm really excited for it. I like seeing heavier games from Days of Wonder. They've been doing some great work in putting out Euro games that are more complex, more engaging, that there's more game there to be explored. And so Yamatai is very firmly on my radar. We'll see how that one goes. I'm a huge fan of Five Tribes. Maybe I'll like this one a lot too. That's my number 6.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5 is coming out from Portal Games, and this is one of the 4 games on my list that I have actually demoed before. But again, the demo was not a full game; it was just a abbreviated, whatever style of game, just to teach you the basic mechanics and just give you a taste of everything. And this is called Alien Artifacts. Now, Alien Artifacts is being touted as a 4X card game. And when I first heard that, I was like, yeah, that's going to really be bad. Because it just doesn't make sense at all. But it's from Portal, right, which is the phrase that gets added after that. Yeah, whatever, but it's from Portal. Oh, well, let's take a look, shall we? And so Mark Street and I did at BGG Con, and we walked away loving the experience.
Well, that's really exciting.
We had a great time playing this game, and it does actually feel like a 4X game, card game. Not saying that it's going to replace any of the other 4X games that I enjoy, but it is an enjoyable experience, and that's why I'm looking forward to playing the full version of it. Alien Artifacts from Portal, a 4X
when he's 80,
card game.
Twilight Imperium will be his number 5. It's going to take that long.
Yeah.
Probably so.
All right, my number 5 is also a game from Portal. Again, people, do better at announcing your games ahead of time. Drum it up a little bit. I know you might miss your deadline or whatever, but come on. There's like 3 companies on my list here.
Oh, that's partially your fault too, though.
No, not really.
What do you mean? I don't have just 3 on my list.
Yeah, but you also see a lot. You are privileged in that way because a lot of news comes through your desk.
I've got 9 different
like for
companies.
average Joe, and I'm not.
And then on my short list, I've got 10, 11, 12, 13 different companies on my short list.
Yeah, but how many of those games do you know, like, more than, say, the title and maybe, like, a 2-line blurb? Like, for a lot of the games I looked through, I was like, oh, that sounds cool because it's got a neat title, you know what I mean?
14.
All right, well, just tell us the name of the game.
I just feel like I know more about these games than the average 2017 release. Anyway, my number 5 is First Martians, Adventures on the Red Planet. And this is a follow-up of sorts to Robinson Crusoe, and it is app-driven as well. So Portal is taking that game, it's moving it to Mars, it's adding an app that assists with the gameplay and assists with the concept of it being sort of a living world that the game will remember things from campaign to campaign, or from game to game, I should say, in order to create a campaign. And that's very exciting. I like the setting, I like the concept, I like the game it's based on, and this theme is even more exciting for me. So, we'll see. This is one that was supposed to come out 2016 and got pushed back to get more development, and I am just fine with that. I want this thing to be amazing when it finally comes out. That's my number 5, First Martians.
All right, my number 5 is our first crossover, probably our first 3-way crossover too. And it's another game from Cool Mini or Not, and that is Rising Sun by Eric Lang. The miniatures look amazing. I love the samurai theme. I hope that this is the next thing that they make 20 games about. You know, they did the Vikings and then...
Oh, that'd be beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, samurai is just one of those ones, there's not enough games about it. I think it's a cool concept. So, I'll let Sam tell you the rest later. So, Rising Sun, my number 5.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is a game that was put out by a company. This is, I believe, going to be their second, maybe third game if I'm missing one somewhere. But it's the company is called Wolf Designer, the same designers that did Guards of Atlantis that I really liked this year. And while I was at Essen, he came by one morning before the hall opened and did a demo of his 4X game, space game that he's coming out with called Warp Gate. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a finished copy of this because we played a highly prototyped version of it. But even though the pieces and the artwork was not final, it's a really fun game. So I'm looking forward to having, you know, the ultimate shellac puller over it. With models and, standardized artwork and all this other kind of stuff that I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great game that plays in about an hour and a half. So it's a 4X game that gives you that feeling, but it's only an hour and a half, 90 minutes. So I think it's got a lot of positiveness to it, and I'm looking forward to it. That's Warp Gate by Wolf Designs, or Wolf Designer. That's what it is.
All right, my number 4 is the one I'm concerned about, maybe. I'm hoping it's amazing, and that's Gloomhaven. We saw the box at Essen, huge box. I like the concept. It's not necessarily legacy, but you go through and open up a box, and there's new enemies and stuff. And it looks like the designer threw in everything in the kitchen sink, which could be bad, but it could also be great.
You get a kitchen sink from the Kickstarter.
Well, you definitely can use the box. But I'm pumped about it. I'm cautiously very optimistic about this. This one should be coming out very soon. It's probably one of the first ones. I don't know how long it will take us to play it.
Or open it even.
Or lift it every night. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So how'd you get buff? Board games.
Gloomhaven.
I had seen pictures online about this.
Gloomhaven.
And then Paul walks up with his copy at Essen, and it's like he's literally carrying this thing like it's...
He said it's like a whole suitcase for one game.
Yes, exactly. So
Gloomhaven's going to be on Tim Jeanette's band name list next year.
it probably is, yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is a card game. Yeah, it's a card game. It's a card game action selection game coming out from Renegade Game Studios, and this is called Ex Libris. And this is one of the ones I have been able to demo. And I found it to be very engaging. It's a family weight game, I would say, in which you are attempting to organize tomes in your library, and that simply translates to you draw cards and then you play them in a very specific pattern. You are trying to alphabetize them, which was clever. And it works really well because you are stacking basically bookshelves, if you would look at the bookshelf laid down on the table, right? And then there are action selection places that you are going to deploy your little characters, and they let you draw more cards, mess with the order of the cards, do a bunch of stuff. The really interesting aspect of it was that action selection mechanism rotates from round to round. What's available rotates. The places you can visit, some will swap out for new ones, and there's a decent amount of stuff going on, but I would still say this is sort of family weight, maybe family weight plus. Clever mechanisms, quick gameplay. I really enjoyed my demo of this. It had a nice hook to it, and so I'm looking forward to seeing it with final artwork, whatever else they've tweaked, and I think this is one that's gonna be impressive. And Renegade has been doing amazing work anyway. So this just continues that trend from what I'm seeing. Very excited for it, for a final edition of Ex Libris from Renegade.
Number 3.
My number 3 is likely higher on Zee's list, but I'm very pumped about it, and that's Pandemic. Legacy Season 2.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Here's the deal. Seafall was not as exciting as we had hoped.
Not nearly so.
But Pandemic, it doesn't matter. One bad game doesn't make, or one game, I guess I shouldn't say bad, but one game that wasn't to my taste isn't going to make me
That's quite all right.
quit up on the Legacy series. I'm really pumped about Pandemic Legacy 2. And I am non-spoiled on it, right? Because you were talking about, about these games. I don't know anything about Pandemic.
No, but even if somebody was like, hey, you want to come sit down and play a demo of Pandemic, I'd be like, nope, don't want to do it. Because I don't want, right, because it is a spoiler,
Right,
it's like
so
it's like watching one scene in a movie before the movie comes out. I'm like, no.
Yeah, but even like when I saw trailers for Rogue One, I kept waiting for those moments to happen in the movie. It's the same thing. So I don't want that to happen at all. I just know that it's supposedly a follow-up to the first one. I don't even know that. So
Shut up, man.
Anyway, I'm really pumped about it. I think it's coming out at Gen Con. They've been kind of quiet on this front. There was a transition from Z-Man to Asmodee, so I'm not sure. But we can hope. We can hope. Very pumped about this one.
Okay, my number 3 is a game I never expected would be a thing. And this is another game from designer Chris Berm in the GIF series of games.
I'm not head palming because of you picking it. I'm head palming because of the name.
How do you pronounce it?
I think it's Link.
I think it's Link also.
Now, how do you think they would spell Link? Just try to make up a
They do this with all the games, right? But Link, spell it.
L-I-N-Q?
It's Lynngq. Or K, sorry, not Q, K. Lynngk.
You should be going through the roof about this because you hate it when games do this.
I already did it in my board game breakfast segment today.
Yeah. It's almost to be expected from this series of games, but it's stupid. Anyway.
This is the worst, I think, so far.
This is the worst. Well, Punked was pretty bad.
Yeah, because punked is actually a word.
Yeah. Anyway, still, having said all of that, another game in the GIF series, for me, I know this seems silly. I'm psyched, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
pumped
really
too.
pumped about a new game in that line. I was expecting that line to be done. And Chris Berm has not come out with anything in ages, it seems. So I'm really, really psyched. If you like abstract games, this is one that should definitely
Well, this
be
one
on your
looks
radar.
really pretty, too.
It's got
really
colors.
good.
It's like Chris Berm just discovered colors. It's crazy stuff. Anyway.
I love that is
my
actually one of the high points of the game.
It's got colors.
Colors!
Dude, I'm used to black and white and abstracts, baby.
My goodness. All right, my number 3 is...
which you already did. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
My number 3 is the only... it's from a company, the only company that showed up on my top 10 twice, and that is Modifius. And this one is called Siege of the Citadel.
Oh, yeah, I thought you might put this one on.
I looked at designers and it said Richard Borg, Eric Lang, Jason Little, Kevin Wilson. I'm ready to have this one on my table.
I'm trying to figure out though who like the main designers. You know, there's 4 designers that not. I'm pretty sure it's Richard Borg's original game.
Yes, it is, and I'm absolutely. If his was the only name on there with the with the theme and the way it looks, I'm good. But then you add Eric Lang, Jason Little, and Kevin Wilson to the mix, and I'm like, okay. Y'all need to get me this game quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Oh, so Jason Little, I just realized that. He hasn't done a game in a long time.
Yeah.
That I know. I mean, he did X-Wing.
But, right.
Huh.
So, I mean, this is like off the charts. That's why it made my number 3. It shot up to the top of my list almost just based on those 4 names alone. I know it's a re-fixing, a re-implementation almost of the original, I think it was a Games Workshop title, Siege of the Citadel. And so, I don't know. No, I don't think it was Games Workshop. Anyway, I know it's Mutant Chronicles or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Anyway, don't care about the history. I saw the names on my list. Siege of the Citadel, my number 3.
Number 2.
My number 2 is a crossover with Mr. Sam Healey, and this is also from Portal Games, Alien Artifacts.
Really?
You have not played this.
I have not.
Did you demo it at?
I did demo it at
This is
BGG.
a 3.
Is that after I told you to go look at it?
I don't remember if I did
This
it
is a
before
3-way
or after.
crossover. Eric put this on his list too.
Alien Artifacts is pretty fantastic. I'm not a 4X player, okay? So I'm not coming at it from that point of view, but I do enjoy heavier card games. I like card-driven. I don't want to say complex because someone out there is going to go, "You're a child, Zee." But heavier card-driven systems. You know, I'm thinking of like the Race for the Galaxies, of whatever, 51st State, Imperial, like that style of game. This is up there with that style. Turns incredibly quick.
Yep.
I mean, you are playing a couple cards and drawing up, boom, done. Like, it was unbelievably quick turns. You are building up, which I adore in a game. We all start basically the same. In 4 turns, we're all doing completely different things. All I needed was artwork. You know what I mean? That's how I was feeling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is very much on my radar. Alien Artifacts looks like it's going to be a really cool card game. I cannot wait to play it again. So that's it. That's my number 2. As Sam said, very good stuff. Alien Artifacts.
Cool. Is it my turn?
It is.
All right, my number 2 is the game that I was able to go to a press conference for at Gen Con from Monolith, Mythic Battles Pantheon. And I was able to do a demo of the game at the press release of it and just had a great time playing the game. It's got a really cool system of the hand of cards that you can play out of your hands. You can use some of them for actions and then some of them for defense, and it's just, I'm probably messing something up because it's been a while since I've played it, but the miniatures are off the chain. The setting of where it's kind of like they're kind of like skirmish battles where you have a main character, but then you also have supporting people that help your main character, and I just had a really great time with it. I think they've done a very good job in producing it. I'm ready to see the finished product. So that's my number 2, Mythic Battles Pantheon from Monolith.
All right, my number 2 is a crossover with Zee, back into Portal territory, and that is First Martians. I'm so pumped about this. I love Robinson Crusoe. Just saying Robinson Crusoe in Mars was enough, right? But this app, the fact that he delayed the game, and he's a workaholic, right? He's a crazy, just works really hard in his games, and he wants to make it right. This could be, I'm hoping that this is the game that you look at it and say, wow, this is what makes an app work with a game. Because the possibilities are here to say, oh, something shows up in the app, okay, great, and then later on in the game it just pops up randomly.
Right,
That'd be awesome. Right. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm hoping it's an amazing experience. I'm just really psyched about this one. So I was super pumped about it at S, and then it didn't show up. But okay, I'll wait. But not much longer. So that's Martian's Story of Civilization.
And finally, number 1.
I can't find another die, so I'll roll after one of you guys rolls.
Oh, man.
man,
I'm
we're
going to break this
ghetto.
one for you. 2.
You did!
That one's busted.
16.
Never mind.
9. All right, I'm going to go first. I already know what both yours are anyway, but I'll go first.
I don't think Sam's is the one you're thinking. He just said he did not put games on the list that he has already played.
And then we'll have Sam go, and then we'll do Pandemic last. So anyhow, my number 1 is one I have somewhat of an interest in, and that's coming from Arcade Wonders at Gen Con, and that's Critical Mass. I've been really excited about this one. I've been really waiting for this one to come for a while. This is a 2-player mech card game. The first time I played it, I was just blown away. I played it again instantly, kept playing it. I'm always on the lookout for these great 2-player games, and not that many come out over the course of a year. A lot of 2-player games come out, but not that many great quick combat ones. I love that this is a mech game where you have different mechs. Each mech has a different deck, and you're just trying to outthink your opponent. I mean, it's a very complex game of rock, paper, scissors to some degree, but the mechs also have a very different feel to them. So I'm very pumped about this one. That is Critical Mass. I keep forgetting the name of it, but
Is that the one that's
I think you played this one.
Critical? No.
Well, it wasn't called Critical Mass. It was called Starborn. This was like two Origins ago.
Nope.
Who's
I
next?
think you'll like
I'm
it.
last.
The
Okay.
origin.
I think you'll like it.
to.
I'm not sure you will like it, but I'm sure you will.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
You're
You are.
next.
Okay. My number 1. Now, to clarify, I did not say that I did not include any
Oh, okay,
games
never
on
mind.
my
It
list
is
that I'd
Sam.
already. I just said I stayed away from them, and I tried to include games that I had not yet played because I'm anticipating them. However, number 1 from Cool Mini or Not, Rising Sun is definitely one that I'm anticipating because we have not yet played a full game of it.
This is true.
We have not yet played a full game of it, and furthermore, the game that we have played was highly prototyped.
Also, Eric Lang,
Yes.
as per Sam Healey's words.
Wow. Yeah. No.
Well, did he do the little laugh?
He did a little
Ron
while ago. He
Swanson,
said,
little Sebastian
also,
laugh?
he's basically saying that if you take the previous game entry, Siege of the Citadel, and remove the people you don't need, like Richard Borg and the other designers,
Actually, no.
then you get a better selection.
Wow.
Number 2.
Actually, not.
Zee Garcia's opinions do not reflect
Actually,
those
not.
of the Dice Tower.
Not at all. Richard Borg's name is listed first, and
That's
there's
number
probably-
3, and then just Eric
probably a
Lang,
reason.
number 2. Got it.
So anyway, Rising Sun. I love how Eric does put this mixture of historical context and mythological flair, I guess you could say. I love how he does that with his games. It's one of the things I like about Blood Rage so much, and I'm thinking it's one of the things that I'm going to like about this game so much. From what I have played, I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot. But again, we have not seen a final production copy or anything like that. We haven't even played a full game of it. So I think it definitely has merit for being my number 1, Rising Sun, coming out from Cool Mini or Not.
All right.
All right, and you mentioned it as well, didn't you?
I did.
So that's on
that's
all
the
our
only
lists.
three-way crossover.
All right, and then my number 1 is Tom said Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Come on.
He can't make a list without putting Pandemic something on it.
Come on,
I mean,
folks.
Pandemic coasters.
They got that coming up finally?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking. My drinks are going to be sitting on the table in style. Anyway, Pandemic Legacy Season 2, as Tom said, as far as we know, it's a continuation of what happened in 1, which I will not spoil. If you have not played, though, go out and play it. And I'm not the only one that is excited about it because, well, the first one is very highly regarded. And so, and it was, by most accounts, I would say, a very well-designed game. A very, I don't say this often, but a very epic game. And so I think number 2 is going to be continuing that trend. I'm hoping. So that's it. Not a whole lot known about this one. By choice, somewhat, right? I don't want to know. But
They're also not releasing a lot of
there's
information
not much
anyway.
out there, but really, if there was, I would avoid it anyway, because I want to experience that game. And that's the thing about the Pandemic Legacy game, the first one, and hopefully this one is, it's an experience. That's what I'm looking forward to. So that's it.
Now, just in case we get asked, I do know that Charterstone is coming out this year. That one almost made my list. That's a legacy game from Stonemaier Games. So
Charterstone?
Yeah. I also know that Seventh Continent. That's one of those big Kickstarters. Same thing.
Yep.
Haven was close on my list. That's from Red Raven Games. Apocalypse Road. What else did I put on my list? Thunderstone, the 3rd edition of Thunderstone. Pumped about that. And this one you won't like, but Fog of Love looks really interesting to me.
I actually saw that name and I was like, whatever that is.
No, it's like it's a 2-player game where you're like it's like a complex relationship style game. I know it doesn't intrigue you.
Chewbacca's definitely
Chewbacca
not.
wants
He
to
was
chime in.
he was like, "Ah, God."
That's the expansion. No, look, whatever. I don't care. It looks interesting to me.
All right,
I know you had a
well,
pile that missed your list.
I did have a, not a pile, I mean, Rum and Bones, we talked about that. Second Tide.
Yeah.
Sword and Sorcery was one that I was vaguely looking forward to. Jamaica the Crew is one that almost made my list. Whelps to Worms. I don't know if you remember playing that one at WT3C in San Angelo.
Whatever you just said, yes.
No,
I'm kidding. Yes, I
Yes,
played.
okay. Whelps
it,
to
yes.
Worms, The Terminator, the official board game. That sounds interesting.
Who's doing that one?
It's actually been in development since 1984.
Apparently, yes. But there's going to be 2 boards, one for 2029 and then one for 1984. And the gameplay happens between both of those
That could be
boards.
good.
So it sounds interesting.
Okay.
But, yeah. And then Star Call, I already talked about that. And there's a bunch of other
I only
expansions
transferred.
that I want to save
Oh, he's
for a top
saving
5.
for something else. I only added a couple extra ones here. My number 11 would be a game called Deep Madness, which was a Kickstarter with set in like at the bottom of the ocean in like a mining drill, and there's like beasties. Think Doom underwater. The Massive Darkness was my 12, and then a game called Spirit Island is my 13 co-op game.
There's
as well.
really a lot of
Lots
epic
co-ops.
games coming out this year, and there's a lot of fantasy sci-fi coming out.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't like overwhelm. I mean, some of these games are just going to get lost in the shuffle. They are. I mean, you can't have that many epic games come out and they all are huge hits.
Well, that cross section between thematic games and strong mechanisms keeps crossing. That keeps merging, right? So we're getting more and more games with engaging themes, cool minis, great artwork, all of that stuff, and then good mechanisms.
Yeah.
Not just check the chart, roll the dice, see what happens, right? Hopefully we're past that. I like that. It's a good place to be. It's a good time to be a gamer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well that's that. Tell us what your most anticipated games are of 2017. Let's see if we're right. We'll find out in December. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, thank you everybody.
Sam Healey. See you on the flip side, y'all.